Welcome to Think Global Education Services. In this lesson, I will talk about the way to find out the acceleration using the velocity time graph. So first thing, I will talk about the definition of the acceleration. Basically, acceleration is denoted by the small letter small a. So acceleration is equal to change in velocity divided by time. So the final velocity is taken as v, initial velocity is taken as u. So change in the velocity would be v minus u. Change in velocity divided by time is acceleration, so v minus u divided by t is acceleration. And if we are given the velocity time graph, velocity is always plotted along the y-axis and time is plotted along the x-axis. So if we are given the velocity time graph, so we can use the velocity time graph also to find out the acceleration. So how do we use the velocity time graph to find out the acceleration? Basically, change in velocity divided by time is acceleration. So change in velocity is along the y-axis. If you make a triangle here on the graph, so change in velocity is usually the along the y-axis, and divided by time is along the x-axis. So if we make a triangle, then it is opposite or adjacent. So opposite or adjacent is gradient of the graph. So gradient of the graph basically gives the value of the acceleration from the velocity time graph. If we look at this graph, we have been given the different sections in the graph: section A, section B, section C, section D. So if we observe the part A, in the part A, the velocity of the object is increasing with a uniform rate. So we have a constant acceleration in the part A, and in the part B, there is no change in the velocity of the object. So velocity is not changing. So of course, if there is no change in the velocity, the acceleration would be zero. And in the part C, we can see that the velocity of the object is decreasing. So if the velocity of the object is decreasing, then we have always deceleration or negative acceleration. So if we observe the part A, in the part A, the gradient of the graph is positive. So if the gradient of the graph is positive, then we can say that the object has a positive acceleration or acceleration. And in the part B, we have zero gradient. So if the gradient is zero, then acceleration is also zero. And in the part C, we have negative gradient. So if there is a negative gradient, then we can say that acceleration is negative. So why this line, this part C has negative gradient? There are two ways to identify. The first one is the velocity is decreasing. In the part C, the velocity from the certain high value to it goes on decreasing, so it has become zero. So the velocity is decreasing in the part C. That's why we have the negative acceleration, or the velocity is decreasing. So we can say that acceleration is negative. And if you look at the part D, in the part D, the velocity of the object is zero. The object has the velocity zero. It means that the object is not moving anymore. So if the object is not moving, object is in the state of rest. So again, we have the zero acceleration. Also, we can say the gradient of the line in the part B and D are zero. So if the gradient in a certain part of the velocity time graph is zero, then we can say that the acceleration is zero. So easily you can identify if you see a line parallel to the x-axis. So we have seen the line parallel to the x-axis in the two parts. One is B and another is T. In the part D, B and D, we have the line parallel to the x-axis, means gradient is zero. So we have zero acceleration in the part B and in the part D. And also we have a positive acceleration in the part A because the velocity is increasing. We have negative acceleration in the part C because the velocity is decreasing. Now I will explain you how to find out the velocity in a problem. We have a question. Question is here. There are the three parts: part A, part B, and part C. So in the part A, we can see that the velocity is increasing. In the part B, velocity is decreasing, and in the part B, velocity is constant, and in the part C, velocity is decreasing. So we can easily make out that in the part A we have positive acceleration. So acceleration can easily we can calculate the acceleration very easily here. How? In the part A acceleration, or we can mark here acceleration A in the part A is equal to, we have to find out the change in the velocity. So change in the velocity is this one, the velocity at this point is 20 and velocity in the starting is 0. So 20 minus 0 is 20 divided by time is 10. So the velocity has changed from 0 to 20 in first 10 seconds. So the acceleration would be 20 divided by 10, that is 2 meter per second square. Now we can also find out in this way, if we find out the gradient of the line, then gradient is opposite divided by adjacent. So opposite side is 20 and adjacent is 10. So 20 divided by 10 is the acceleration. In the part B, there is no change in the velocity. Velocity is constant. So acceleration in the part B is equal to 0 divided by, we can see the time is 10 to 30. 10 to 30 means 20. So 0 divided by 20 is 0. So in the part B, there is no acceleration or zero acceleration. Now we can see the part C. In the part C, the velocity has decreased from 20 to 0 and the time taken by the object is 30 to 70. So in the part C, the acceleration would be 0, negative, since the final velocity is 0 and the object has initial velocity 20 in the part C. So 0 minus 20 divided by time taken is 70 minus 30. So 70 minus 30 is 40. We can see this one. The time is from 30 to 70. So time taken is 40 seconds divided by 40. Now if we calculate this, it is AC is equal to negative 0.5 meter per second square. So the acceleration in the part C is negative. We can easily make out from the graph also. If you see the gradient of the graph, if the graph is making an angle more than 90 degree from the positive direction of x-axis, then we can say that the gradient of the graph is negative. So acceleration would be negative. So this is the way to find out the acceleration in the velocity time graph. I hope this lesson was useful for you. Thank you for watching.